Hello, everyone, and welcome to the day 2, 7th session of our Creative Beginnings event. It's all about the space, making instruction accessible for all learners. My name is Gabby. I'm from Buncee. Some of you might have seen me on some webinars at some point, but today I'm really humbled to be a part of this session and really a part of this virtual event that we're doing. It's really amazing to be a part of this global community and to witness it as we all come together to share ideas. So before we get started, I do want to mention we are having a giveaway. So I'm going to share my screen, and here you'll be able to see, one moment please. We are going to be having 2 giveaways right now. So the first one, I'm going to challenge you to take a session selfie. We're going to pick one lucky winner, and what you do is you take a session selfie and you're going to tweet what you learned on Twitter with your photo that you took. You're going to tag @Buncee and you're going to add the hashtag Buncee Live, and then you're going to tag 3 of your friends, and you'll be entered to win a Buncee subscription for Classroom for the year. So that's pretty awesome. And our second giveaway that we have, if you create a Meet the Teacher All About Me Buncee, we're going to be picking one lucky winner for that as well. And to complete that, you're going to tweet your All About Me Buncee that you made on Twitter. You're going to make sure to tag @Buncee and add the hashtag Buncee Live and the hashtag All About Me, hashtag All About Me. And you're going to tag 3 of your friends, and you'll be entered to win a Buncee for Schools and Districts subscription for 5. So I definitely recommend you take the time and enter, and maybe you'll win. So definitely take the time to try out for those giveaways. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce our session leaders. So our first up, we have Cheryl Graff. She's a special education educator. And we have Melissa Stark, who is also a special education educator. And these 2 educators are really amazing, super talented, and they're going to tell you all about the many ways that you can make learning accessible for all students. So take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Melissa, do you want to share your screen with? If you can go to the first. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Never mind. You're good. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Special thanks to the Buncee team and to my co-presenter, Melissa. I'm really excited to be here and present with Melissa. So my name is Cheryl Graff. I am a 9th grade special education teacher and learning specialist. I'm also a semi-professional singer as well, too. So on here, this is a list of all of my credentials, where you can find me, my email, follow me on Twitter. I even put in a YouTube link of myself singing. I actually do a lot of arts integration activities with my students. I work at a public arts high school in Chicago, just became a Microsoft Innovative Education expert along with Melissa. So I am an Apple teacher. I'm an ambassador for a wide variety of tech programs, Kahoot and Buncee. I presented with Buncee a couple of times. If some of you may have seen me for the Malaysia presentation or a webinar I did a couple months ago on Buncee. So I'm really happy to be here and co-presenting with Melissa.
And my name is Melissa Stark. I'm a special education and ed tech model teacher at P94 in New York City. That's part of District 75, which is a special education district in New York City. I have been a presenter at ISTE, Ed by edX NYC, as well as this year I'll be presenting at Closing the Gap. And today I was published in their magazine. I'm also an ambassador to several different programs, including Buncee Board Maker, Kahoot, book creator, as well as an MIE expert. And I'm very excited to be here today to talk about how I use Buncee in my classroom.
All right. So Melissa and I are a very energetic bunch. We love to have fun and be super creative. So one of the things we're going to start out with is a pulse check, just to get to see you all, to get a sense of how you're feeling. So I'm going to share my screen because you all, if you can, you're going to be able to go to Pear Deck. So give me one moment. This is something that I do in my classroom. Melissa, do you do like SEL checks and stuff like that in your classroom as well?
Absolutely. And actually, I use Buncee to be able to do it as well. Having social emotional checks with your student, and especially right now, as we're all in remote learning, is so important to see how everybody's feeling. It's not only important for our students, but it's important for us as teachers as well to find out how we're feeling and be able to share that. Because we all have really good days, but we also have days where we all need support from each other.
And I think just bouncing off of that too, like to make SEL checks interactive and engaging, because it's all hard for us during this time, especially for our students, for our diverse learner students, to get up, be ready to learn, to have that routine. They're so used to that in-person routine that it's just, I know my students last spring when we did remote learning, it was a major shift for them to go on a computer and start learning. So having these interactive SEL checks, I call it the pulse check, is a nice way to just get students to wake up and, get yourself awake and alert and ready for the day. So if you all could head to joinpd.com and enter in POHDG, that would be great. It looks like we have people that are joining. Can everyone see my screen, Melissa? Is that?
I think so.
Okay. I'll just give everyone just a couple more minutes to join. If you can't join, totally fine.
The nice thing about Pear Deck is it's a great program that integrates really nicely into Buncee. A lot of programs that you'll be seeing today integrate into Buncee and can be used in conjunction, which is a great thing about Buncee. There's so many programs that can be used that will gather other data as well, which is really helpful for our students.
Yes. And this was so easy to integrate into our Buncee. All you had to do was highlight. I put in the words pulse check, and we can show that again later. I highlighted the words pulse check and then clicked on add link, and I was able to add in the Pear Deck link. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If you haven't joined yet, the wonderful thing about Pear Deck is the code is posted. So let me show you what it looks like here. So if you haven't joined, the code POHDG is in the upper right-hand corner. So you can always go to joinpd.com and enter in that code. So the first thing, and I already see a lot of responses, how are you feeling today? And I will be able to show responses in a moment. So let me press show responses. All right. So there's a lot of people who are saying I'm in a good space. And this is something you can do with your students to figure out, okay, where are my students at? And if they're not in a good place, how am I going to change up my lesson and make it accessible so that students are in a good place? All right, so I'm going to lock the screen for a moment too, because I see people are moving around. So we have a couple that are kind of in the middle and one that's kind of leaning towards the red zone, but not there. So that's good. So hopefully those people that are leaning further into the red zone, orange zone, hopefully Melissa and I can inspire you with some amazing ideas today in our presentation. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. I'm going to unlock the screen. I'm going to shift to the next slide. Melissa and I would love to know, where are you currently located? Buncee is a global community, and we would love to know where you are all located. And I feel like I'm a sponsor for Pear Deck right now, Melissa. Pear Deck, you have these cool icons as well that you can drag around. Melissa and I really like to show you all different ed tech tools. Oh, wow. So let me show responses.
The really nice thing for our students too with Pear Deck is that you don't have to press enter afterwards. So once they slide the button, it just shows up on the teacher screen. Something else that's really great with Pear Deck is that, or with this feature, is that you don't have to see the students' names. So for a lot of our students who are sometimes afraid to share their voice, this gives them that sense of privacy that they don't have to share their voice, but can still answer. And for a lot of our students, that is really helpful. And for a lot of them during remote learning, a lot of our students who never participated before have been, because they can do it in a more private manner. So we do have a lot of participants today from North America. And we are very thankful to see some participants from South America and from Europe, some Asia. So thank you guys for all over the world participating. Very nice to see.
And I'm just going to say, I'm going to lock the screen too. So for some of our students who may have a little too much fun with Pear Deck, which is okay. It's okay to have fun, but I love the lock screen feature. That way, if you are trying to teach and you need to get moving on the lesson, you can just say, hey, to the students, we need to focus, we need to pay attention. So excellent. All right, I'm going to move on to our last slide, which is when you hear the word accessibility. So we're going to be focusing on the word accessibility a lot throughout the presentation. You will hear Melissa and I say accessibility probably at least 100 times, but we want you to walk away with that. So when you hear the word accessibility, what are your thoughts? It could be anything, okay? We just want to know your thoughts. And I think when we're thinking about our students, presenting questions such as this will really help get their thoughts going. So this is another component, and I'm sure, Melissa, you do this too in your SEL checks with your students, where I present maybe a thematic question or just a general prompt like, how are you feeling today? Just to get students the opportunity for their voices to be heard. I think that's so important when we're doing SEL activities. So I'm going to show responses. And as Melissa mentioned earlier, all these responses are anonymous, which is great. So I'm seeing things like available for all students, ease of access, everyone can be involved, inclusive. Can anyone be successful with whatever? Love it. Available to all. Open channels. Oh, I realize I'm not scrolling down. I'm scrolling on my iPad. Immersive reader. Yes, we will be showing immersive reader later on.
Cheryl, I just want to jump in here. Someone had asked, is the Pear Deck slide with pulse check available already? Yes, that is one of the ones that is a pre-made template. So if you are using Pear Deck, you can just pop that in as a template that's already made. So that was a great question. So it is something you could pop in from Pear Deck into your Buncee as an already made template.
Yes, I think there are different levels of subscriptions, if I'm correct. So there's like the basic and premium. That template, the first one that we did, that Mentimeter, I don't know what they call it. Mood Meter. That's what it's called. I said Mentimeter is another app. Mood Meter. The Mood Meter that we did first, that is free. That's included with the basic subscription. I don't know about the other slides because I'm doing their premium trial right now. But yes, they have a lot of amazing templates. So this is great. I'm just scrolling through some of the comments, having things available that any student might need in order to work. Equality, equity, all students can access. I mean, this is great. So we're walking away with a lot of different thoughts, which is great. Melissa and I are really going to focus on the positive things of accessibility, especially with Buncee. How can we use Buncee to make our learning not just acceptable for our population, such as students who are ELL learners, ESL learners, students with IEPs and 504s, but all of the strategies that Melissa and I are going to share with you today can be used with any learner in your classroom. I think that's what makes Buncee great. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you all for participating in the Pear Deck. And I'm going to let Melissa take over.
All right. So, okay. Oops. Are you guys able to see my screen? Just checking.
Yes.
Right.
Is it on full screen, Melissa?
Absolutely. Oops.
Yeah, just double check.
Yep. All good?
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Sorry, guys. I hope all of you are doing well. I know we are kind of in middle of a tropical storm here in New York, so hope all of you who've in that kind of pattern are safe. So our objectives today, and while we're doing this, I'm going to show you this is Immersive Reader, and part of Immersive Reader you'll see is that it can read the objective to you. So hopefully this is going to work.
During this session,
can you hear that, guys?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We will also share how to use Buncee for self-expression and creativity in order to show a deeper understanding and mastery of the content. This session will share how Buncee can be used interactively for personalized learning.
So if a student needed that read to them and that was just listed, that would be a great feature for them. You could also click here, and that will go and show you a different version of it. Through this, you could pick text preferences where you could see text size. You could pick different themes. You could also pick grammar options if you wanted to see the nouns, the verbs, different labels. If you wanted to see the syllables shown. You could also see as well of line focus. If you only wanted to show different one line at a time. You could also pick where you were only showing if you wanted the picture dictionary. So say I wanted for students. I clicked on students, could say the word. Students. Oops, I was hoping to pick a word that would actually read. Let's see if I can find one. Head. So it'll give you a picture of it so you can see. So that's a really great thing for students who need support reading. And also, too, it'll translate. So you can pick a different language, and it will translate for that as well. So, for example, I will pick Spanish Latin American. Whoops. And
oh, Melissa, could you go back to the translation and show the entire document being you just had to flip the document switch. I think that would be kind of cool to show everyone. Absolutely. So right now it's by word. Yep. Yeah.
So this is the document switch. So if you were really needing, some families wanted to see it. Let me take off to let me put the line focus back on. You could see it. Let me just 1 second. Sorry, guys. Speaking out the syllables, you could see the item in just Spanish or whatever language you needed to see it in. Spanish, and then we go back to English. So that's really helpful for our multi-language learners as well.
And Melissa, I just wanted to jump in if I could. Immersive Reader is also available on Pear Deck and many other apps. If you're familiar with Nearpod, Immersive Reader is created by Microsoft. So a lot of ed tech apps that probably many of you are familiar with, Immersive Reader is in that. So it's an amazing tool for our diverse learners. And can you change, that was my question. Can you change the voice? I know you can change the speed of the voice. I don't know if you can change the voice of Immersive Reader. I don't know that question either.
You will review how.
Stop it. When you look at the voice, we can always try it out. That's what always presentations are for.
Yes. I don't know if there's a way to change the voice or not.
I'm not sure, honestly. But that's a good question to find out.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's an amazing tool.
Oops, wait, hold on. I lied. Let me go back one thing. That's a great thing about presentations. So when you go into the voice settings, you can change the voice speed and to have it female or male. So you wanted to speed it up, and then you wanted to change it, and then you wanted it to read. Let me just play it again.
During this session, we will review how to use Buncee in order to create instruction for.
Okay, so that was much quicker than we probably want our students to read it, but it is very exciting for our students to see.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to talk about some elementary resources right now. My students currently follow what is called a structured teaching classroom. So one of the things that I did when we moved to remote learning was I tried to recreate what my classroom would look like in school visually for them. So what I did was I made visually in Buncee, my classroom. So what we do is when my students go online, we review our classroom. So for example, say we're practicing hand washing. I embedded a song into Buncee that is 20 seconds long, so we practice hand washing. So for example, this was a big hit at our classroom beforehand. Oh. So, but you guys get the point. But that way it was a really great way for us while the students are home to practice those hand washing skills that we're going to need to go back. When we look at the schedule here, this is what the students will be working on. The first thing they do is work with teacher. So when we go up to work with teacher, I just want to exit full screen for a second. We are going to go and see, this is the thing they're going to be doing when they work with their teacher. And so my students are alternate assessment learners. Some of them are using communication devices. And so what they're going to be doing here is they're going to be identifying the actions that the teacher states on each page. Buncee has a great collection of animations. So what I did was I embedded their augmentative communication system program, LAMP's Word for Life, with picture symbols that I embedded in. And they then are able to find them on the board, and then I ask them, what is the person doing? And they go on their communication device and say that the person is jumping. So that would be work that they were doing with me as part of their activity. Then for the next item, we would be going to say the computer section of the classroom, and then say we had an activity set for them that was flashcards. So say we were going to work on, for example, I know some people were coming who were working, were sign language interpreters. We could have flashcards that were working on sign language that you would be working on. And these are actually all pre-made activities in Buncee that we're going to show you a little later on how they're done. But these were all activities that were pre-created in Buncee that I have done for my students. Also, my students have a schedule that they follow here as part of their structured teaching. So I embedded YouTube videos in for my students so that way they could see what they're doing. So for example, in this one, they're going to follow this activity of sorting activities. So they watch the YouTube video and then complete it. So it's been a really great way to emulate what we would be doing in the classroom environment right here on Buncee. And it's been a great experience for my students to be able to copy what we're doing there. This was another activity that we did. We were working on this Summer of Discovery. So we made a dinosaur, kind of like a dinosaur diorama, where we took dinosaurs and I took board maker pictures and I labeled with the kids what they were. And then for this one, the volcano, we embedded an animated item, and then we labeled it. Volcano. So the child used their communication device to label it. So this is a really, it's such an exciting thing for the child to see. It's much more hands-on. The child was able to bring something to life that is so much more fun than just seeing a picture and seeing these things and moving parts move. So the students were definitely much more motivated to use it as part of their activities. So Cheryl's going to review some of our middle school and high school resources.
And I just want to give you credit, Melissa, and I think that's why we mesh so well is because of our music and arts skills that we love integrating. I was dancing along, by the way, when you were playing that music. That was fun. And okay, so I'm going to
wash their hands. We got to practice,
I love it. I may steal that and try and find like a song for my high school kiddos. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay. So as I mentioned briefly before, I have taught middle school special education, but now I'm a high school teacher and I co-teach with 4 different academic teachers. So I have to learn a lot of curriculum. My students are required to learn a lot of curriculum. So the first Buncee that I'm going to share with you I created for my students because a lot of my learners really struggle with retention of vocabulary. This is a demo that I made for biology. As many of you know, maybe there are some science teachers in the audience, maybe there are other special ed teachers who teach science like I do. Biology there's just a lot of terms. So on these two slides, I put the term at the top, which is organelle. We're talking about an organelle. Then I put the definition under what does this word mean. So you see the definition. I also put a picture. And what I love about Buncee as well is you can record a video directly into Buncee. So Melissa, if you could click on the video.
An example of what an organelle is. So an organelle is basically a structure in a plant or animal cell that has a particular job. Let's think of our bodies for a moment. So our lungs help us.
Yeah, we can just stop the video there. So basically in the video, I was trying to not only give students like a visual and a written definition, but also explain it. And if you continue to watch the video, which Melissa and I are happy to share our presentation at the very end. If you continue to watch my video, you'll see that I try and make real life connections about an organelle. I tell the students, oh, well, your lungs are an organelle. They help you breathe. So this template, I actually took directly from the Buncee templates. The only things that I added in were the text, the picture in the video, and the arrow icon. Everything else, so that the pink dots in the background, that tan background, the 3 boxes, those were all provided by Buncee. Using the Buncee templates have saved me so much time. And I'm sure you can say that too, Melissa, like it saves me so much time as a special education teacher so that I can focus on being able to modify the material and focus less on the presentation of it, like where are the boxes going to go and all that. So we're getting a lot of, oh yes. Ida's saying too that you can upload photos as well into Buncee too. Yeah. I think I did upload this. Yeah, I did. I used like Google Images or something and found an organelle, but this just goes beyond a Google Doc and it's amazing. So we can go to my next resource, I think. Yes.
And I just want to share too, I uploaded those pictures from Boardmaker into mine, but also too, another great thing is for students who really do need that support, especially understanding an organelle, and Cheryl does an amazing job explaining it, but they do again have the immersive reader here for students who need that extra support discussing it. So that's always an extra support. And one other thing about Buncee that's amazing is I really truly believe you have to work smarter, not harder. And Buncee is like the true definition of that. Everything is really available that you can augment, but that you don't always have to recreate. So I think that is really the amazing thing that I have learned through distance learning and remote learning that Buncee is amazing for.
It really is. It just goes, I love Google Slides and Google Docs, but Buncee just makes it the learning more applicable for our learners, especially our students, our individuals with autism who really, during distance learning, really want to see the teacher's face. And Buncee makes that happen with being able to add in video. You can also add in your own audio as well, directly into Buncee. So this next presentation is exploring careers. So I don't know about other special education teachers, but here in Illinois, especially Chicago, our district is really pushing us to do career exploration early with our students so that they have experience before they leave high school. So especially in 9th grade, I work with freshmen, so they're really pushing us to implement career exploration. So this presentation, I chose the career of a singer because that's my second hobby, my passion. If I wasn't a teacher, I would be a singer. So I made a Buncee to model to my students how to explore a career that they're interested in. So on this slide, I included the singer, I included what a singer is, where you can see singers. So I said a singer performs in front of a live audience on television, on radio, or in movie productions. I added my own images. So if we go to the next slide, I also put in a typical day as a singer. So what do they do? How much money they earn per hour? How much money, estimated amount, do they earn a year? Their responsibilities. So that was this slide. And the next slide was education required. So I didn't mention before, I'm a Spartan educator. So if there are any Michigan State people out there, woohoo, go green. Best program ever, sorry. I put in on this slide that I would like to attend Michigan State University and you need a bachelor's degree. So just the education required to be a singer. And then this last one is great. So I made a video, and you could have your students do this too. So your students could do the research of their career, but they could also do a video right in Buncee about why they want to pursue this career. And these presentations would be phenomenal to use if you have student and parent permission at an IEP meeting, maybe share it with your school administrator, or even share it with the district to show them like, hey, I'm doing this career exploration activities. And look, so-and-so is going to be prepared for life after high school. So if we could just play a little bit, I don't think that
I would like to be a singer because it's something that I've always had a passion for ever since.
Try and scroll, Melissa, to the end if they want to hear me sing. I want to see if I don't know if it'll load. I do sing in this video, so you can hear me sing.
Which one? How far on? Thank you.
I think it's near the end. Yeah, right there. I think.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Okay, so there. So you got a little snippet of me singing. So yay. Yeah. So again, this type of presentation that I created gets students really excited about wanting to explore careers. Career exploration, resume writing, not the greatest and most exciting topic for our students. But if we use Buncee and we're able to integrate these life skills into fun presentation activities like this career one, students will buy in and they'll love it. I see tons of comments coming in.
I also want to add too, this is great for like portfolios as well. Yes. So for students that you need to collect data on, using this as a portfolio is a great way to see how students have progressed on making their skills or developing their skills. So you can see a student who's using, say, an augmentative communication system or who is using a running record, how far they've come. So these are all great ways to incorporate those skills into a Buncee and to be able to take that data and to then be able to share it, of course, with parent permission, but it then see how a student has, grown during their time.
Yeah, and Buncee makes it so easy to share through Google Classroom, through email. You can even see if the parent or guardian responded and was able to open the Buncee. So there's multiple ways that you can share Buncee with everybody. That's what makes it accessible and wonderful.
Microsoft Teams as well. Buncee can be used through Microsoft Teams to start Microsoft a call. So that is a great also way of using it.
So we also wanted to share some resources, and I know Melissa is the expert on this, for all learners. We didn't want our presentation to just be focused on students. We consider you all learners as well, and thank you all for being here. So Melissa, do you want to share resources for all learners?
So one of the things we had done for my school is that, as for all of us, we need a break too. So as part of our tech newsletter, we made like a social emotional living room. And the reason is, we needed to support ourselves, not only our students during this time. So here we made some different resources for staff. We had someone doing yoga, someone playing guitar, someone reading a book. And then we put in links here. I'm going to share some with you. Oops. Hold on. So this link was shared mindfulness exercises for students, was one of them. And then we also had, this one was beginner acoustic lessons for guitar. So these links were embedded into a Buncee to share for staff, because just because it's, you would look at this and be like, wow, this is for just for students. No, it's for everyone. And we all need support. It's also a great tool for, learning as well. And one of the other really great things is your ability to work together on Buncee. And, one of the things that we've all learned throughout remote learning is you're not alone. So how do we do that? And how do we share and co-create? And one of the amazing things that Buncee has is something called Buncee Boards. So we're going to go and look at some of the Buncee boards that we have. Cheryl and I worked together on a Buncee board when we were creating this presentation. The Buncee boards are just a compilation of boards together that you can see. This Buncee board, this Buncee board is one for language learners. So what it has in it is the ability to have different words. Someone actually else, her name was Annie Garrity, put this together. I subscribe to it. And it has words in English and in Spanish. It has different activities. This is a book that you can put stickers to, months and seasons. Directions on how to make a template with cutouts, and all different activities so that you can collaborate, and again, working smarter and not harder. So it's been a really great way to co-create with other people so that you can be able to share resources.
And this really helps in my situation, working with 4 different academic teachers and keeping track of where everyone is at. Being able to share Buncee, being able to have a Buncee board and share different ideas really just helps make the instruction, again, you're going to hear us say this multiple times, accessible for all. So yeah, check out Buncee boards. And I think this presentation, we can even put it on the Buncee board too, because isn't this our Buncee board, Melissa? Yeah. That we can even put that on the Buncee board and have everyone check it out.
Absolutely. So. And also, too, that's a great way, too. I mean, as a community, Buncee is a great community, but someone else might have some great resources that they would be able to share, and we can add to it. When Cheryl and I actually met through the Buncee community, and, we've kind of learned together and we've learned new things together, but that is the whole sense of this. So, this one presentation can grow and grow and grow, and everyone can learn together. And I know that sounds a little like, yay, but it really is a great way to, again, make things more accessible for our students, but also make things a little bit easier for all of us in the long run. Mm-hmm. One of the things that Buncee is amazing for is their Ideas Lab. And what their Ideas Lab is that they have, let's find the right board, is they have a way that you can, you can go on and check what things have already been pre-made. So that is a really nice way to kind of look up ideas that have already been pre-populated for you. So,
Melissa, I hope you don't mind. I'm just looking at the questions here. Somebody asked, I don't know if we answered this already, but someone was asking about the templates, if they're only available with premium. I don't believe so. I think you have access to a variety of templates, especially as you see on the screen now in the Ideas Lab. You have plenty of templates to choose from. We'll show you later when we create a Buncee together how easy it is to find templates. So.
But this is an example of the Ideas Lab. So if you're looking in here, this gives you just an example of all the ones that are available to you. So exploring stages of matter with the juice pop experiment, sharing projects and activities with a choice board. So we're just going to show you a couple of the ones that we've kind of done together from the items that we've made. So this was one that I had found that I've actually used. So add check marks to the box when you add one of these Buncee items. This is really great for our students who have executive functioning issues. So when they add a sticker or they add an animation, or if these are the items I want them to add, I have them check it off on their Buncee page. So that way they know that they've created the items I want them. And then this way they know that they've completed the items that I need them to. So this is really great for students who need that support, kind of like a schedule of what they need to add into their Buncee board.
I can even see this, Melissa, too. Sorry, I keep interjecting.
No.
You can even change this for academics or
Absolutely.
task. Like I could just see like complete bell ringer, complete, 10 problems in my math journal, work on my ELA IEP goal, and the students could put check marks.
Absolutely.
Next to this is excellent too.
It has so many different resources it can be made into. And, some students won't do well with horizontal. They need that vertical. It really can be used for so many things. Instead of check marks, you could have stickers of things that students like. Again, the choices are endless. This was something I kind of had, I used that one for. We made a panorama. So this was something that was available this is a panorama of a zoo. We're learning about it. So we did, I saw penguins. We were talking about penguins. So I saw penguins in happy feet. So we recorded our voice in it. And then this guy was happy. So
I call it the Sour Patch Kid.
These are our emoji Sour Patch Kids. But my students were working, on zoo animals. So we kind of put together something that was, we added something that they could describe in it. And we, this was kind of, we made from the beginning, but then they used that checklist to kind of check off things. We added the penguins, we added a voice recording, we added an animation, we added music. So this is something that we were able to create to have all different parts as together. Plus we also have the immersive reader feature in it as well. So right now we're going to create a Buncee with you. There's nothing more fun than going to a PD and learning how to create it yourself. So if you guys want to, log on to Buncee, we're going to spin this amazing wheel that Cheryl has made for us.
This is great. And it's called the Wheel of Names. It's phenomenal. If you go on Google and search Wheel of Names, you will find this wheel and you can add in any information you want. And this is like a game changer, especially in distance learning, being able to add in, student generated, names. And these wheels also can be private, because I know there's, we have to be concerned about privacy issues. These wheels, you can customize them so that only like you and your students can see it. So Wheel of Names, check it out.
Right.
We're gonna spin it now.
All right, so we're gonna spin it, and whichever one comes up, we're gonna kind of create while we're together. Ready? And let's see what we get.
Ooh.
All right. So, a multimedia room. Okay. So we're gonna make.
Yes, wait for it. But yes, it has the effect. It has the applause. It's great. I love it.
All right. So we are going to make a multimedia room. So I'm on the Ideas Lab. I'm going to search for a home. Let's see. Let's see what I find. Okay.
Or you could go to the dashboard. And
well, funny, before when I did this, I found the house that I wanted right away and that I was good for. And then, there it is. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Create this. So I'm going to edit this beautiful house. And we're going to make a multimedia room that we can use for our students together. So you guys are more than welcome to go to Buncee and create something with us. So again, this is a copy of a visual vocabulary, but we're going to make it so we have something going for us. So this has some animals in it. We're going to add some, let's see, this one has a TV in the background. I want to add, let's say, let's add another TV. We're going to add a bigger screen TV. All right, let's add this one.
And you see how Melissa, just all she had to do was input the words TV and a bunch of TVs popped up. That's what we love about Buncee. You can just search, use any keyword, and multiple TVs pop up. So you have lots of choices.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm going to put my big TV in there. And then I'm going to say, I want a, let's see what else I want in my multimedia room.
I would try like maybe the animations. Yeah, show them the animations. That's fun.
Let's see. Let's get a video.
So the animations, if you're not familiar with them, they are objects that when you present your Buncee, they will move, which is really, really cool.
So like, I think, video.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. It'll like move inside the.
Yeah, it's gonna go into the TV.
I like that. That's very cute.
All right, and then we're gonna add a computer.
Should we show them eventually too, maybe audio and video too, so that they.
Absolutely.
Oh, the computer ones are fun. Oh, I like that one. I used that in a recent presentation.
Let's make them a little smaller. So again, these are nice things too that your students can just, kind of input in. And there was an earlier presentation today that, again, everyone, the nice thing about Buncee is that you kind of have to play around with it, and that's what's really fun. So I definitely, for people who aren't familiar with Buncee, just play or let your students play, because that's really the best way to do it. So to put some
audio,
audio.
You gotta click on an object.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do video? Okay.
I figure. Well, we'll do audio first.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. Are you going to sing for us, Cheryl, or am I just?
Sure.
All right.
If you'll pick it up.
All right. Let's say.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. I don't know if that picked it up. We'll see.
All right, we'll find out. All right, we're gonna upload. We're gonna find out. Okay, ready?
I think that's the first time I've ever sung on a webinar, y'all.
All right. You know what? This is what we do here, guys. You got to make it fun. So let's preview. Let's see how we're going here. I might have to shift things around because I don't think I moved it to the front, but we'll see how we're going here. The whole point, again, as we present and, as everyone, we want the whole point of a webinar is to have fun and to enjoy things. So
I feel like that's our philosophy of teaching too. Melissa, you and I have a very similar mindset as special ed teachers. We want it to be fun. We want learning to be fun for everybody. So
I don't know I think I may have done it wrong. Hold on. I don't know if I don't know if I connected it. Give me one second.
Yeah.
See,
it's all good.
You know what, guys, though, this is what, I think we were talking about this earlier. We all this is what happens when you do things. No one is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like a celebrity on here. I'm getting like, wow, beautiful voice. Oh, am I recording again?
You might have to. Hold on.
All right.
All right. Yeah, your fans liked you a lot. They want you to record again.
All right. Hold on. I got to think of a good song. Oh, here we go. I got one. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby.
All right, great job. All right, see if that works out.
If not, I'll just keep singing.
Listen. All right, yeah, that might have worked better. There we go. All right. Woohoo. All right. So
You can follow me on YouTube. Sorry to give a plug.
Give yourself a little plug there.
I'm giving a little plug there. I did a song a day challenge for my students where I sang a song a day during distance learning. And I think I made 100 videos. So if you want to hear more, yeah.
So as you see in our multimedia room, we added our TV, a better movie.
I'm impressed that it picked it up.
So these are just some things you can add. You could add, for example, if you were working on life skills, you have the washing machine here. You might put a video there to work on life skills of washing clothes, to teach someone how to wash their clothes. You have a bath here. Maybe if you wanted a relaxation video, you might put soft, quiet music in there. We could have put our Somewhere Over the Rainbow over there. But these are just some ways that you can incorporate Buncee to in so many different ways. It can work for all learners. It can work for...
Oh, yeah. Melissa, can we show how to change the background too?
Absolutely. So
Ida's reminding us about that. Good point.
Thank you, Ida.
Yay, Buncee team.
Okay, so if we want to go to change background, we would just go to this button back here to change background. I'm hoping that's not going to change the house though.
Yeah.
We'll find out. So if we're just going to pick, let's see, just in case, I'm just going to pick you know what? Let's be adventurous. Let's pick a movie theater. Let's see if we have a movie theater.
Oh, while you're doing that, also, if any of you enjoy Bitmojis.
Okay, so yeah, so change the whole background, but as you can see, the movie theater did leave, just so we know, we did leave our little turtle there. Yeah. So the background, you can change the background to anything you like.
And there's a lovely undo button where you can undo things. And I was just saying before, if any of you like Bitmoji, such as myself, if you haven't checked it out, you should. You can save images, save Bitmojis, and upload them to your Buncee. Oh wow, we're getting a lot of comments here. So the last couple of slides, and then Melissa and I would love to take questions from everyone. Melissa and I are both app smashers. We love integrating other apps with Buncee. So this page, I put in some of my favorite apps. As I mentioned, Bitmojis, Flipgrid, Wakelet, Pear Deck, Kahoot, Twitter, Screencastify, Loom. If you already follow me on Twitter, I actually model a lot of these tools. And if you did see on my screen earlier in the presentation, I am on TikTok. So some of my TikTok videos are educational and I put them on YouTube. So I don't know if it's going to work because it tend to have a lag in my last webinar, so you don't have to play it, Melissa, because I think it's gonna freeze. But I did a really brief TikTok video of like my top 5 apps. So, and we will share all of this too at the end of the presentation.
These are some of my favorites: Sway, Flipgrid, Nearpod, Book Creator, Wakelet, ThingLink, Buncee, and if you follow me on Twitter, I just share some of my favorite apps all the time. And questions, you can please feel free to reach out to either of us at our emails, Twitter, LinkedIn. We would be happy to answer any questions. We have been big fans of Buncee and very thankful for the community for just their support. Yes. But any support we could give you guys, especially for your students, we would love to.
Especially during this time too. I mean, it's stressful for all of us, but if we all collaborate and communicate, I mean, we'll be great. Just an FYI, I don't check LinkedIn as often as I should. So the best way to reach me is Twitter and my email. But if you do message me on LinkedIn, I will get back to you. I don't check it as much. I should be better about that, but I'm not. Yeah, do we want to take questions? We've got time for questions. I'm trying to scroll through. If anyone has questions, please, comment away. Oh, we've got a couple here, actually, I think.
I had actually, I wanted to just, there were some questions in the chat, if you see any, whatever, but I did want to address 2. So the first one was just going back to the audio that we had a question about. So I think there was a little bit of confusion when you added the audio the first time. And I believe it was because you tried to attach the audio to the TV first, right?
Yeah.
So a kind of a fun, like a little bit of an advanced Buncee, tip is layering. So when you add items to your canvas, like stickers or animations or things like that, you can add things on top of other things.
Yeah.
And you can move them to the back of your canvas or to the front of your canvas. But when you add an item on top of another item, and maybe if you add audio or something like that to or a link or something to an item on your canvas, and there's something on top of it, then when you go to click the audio, you can't find it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened, but I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about layering. So that's it's a tool you can use to make a lot of really cool things. But if you are attaching audio or a link, or even if you're putting a video, just make sure that you can still click that audio button when you do that. Another one that I wanted to address, you probably saw in the chat, but just in case you didn't, I wanted someone had asked, how do you teach your students to use Buncee? And you might have kind of addressed this a little bit, because I know really in a lot of ways the best way to learn Buncee is to just play with it and have fun. But what has been your experience with that, both of you?
For me, I make a lot of how-to videos, and going back to the app smashing, I use Flipgrid. And by the way, I'm giving a shout out to Flipgrid because their new features come out tomorrow, I think, August 5th, and I got to test run some of their new features being a student voice ambassador. So I make a lot of how-to videos where I not only record myself, like you see a picture of me, but also I use the screen recording side of Flipgrid and show them step by step how to, use Buncee or use other tech tools. So Melissa, do you want to share too?
So for a lot of my students, especially since we've been in remote learning, a lot of times I work with them and I've created a lot of things, and then I have my students add to it with me. So I think as we go into more into the building more, I will have my students be able to learn to navigate the program more. But I think because of the level of my students, we've kind of been really working on me starting with the base and then moving outward. They have done a really great job, and it's been a really great way for my students to model new skills with it. I think it's definitely been a learning curve, but it's also helped a lot of my families too. They really enjoy it, and they said it's taught them a lot of new skills as we've worked through remote learning as well.
So someone asked, I think in the comments, if you can video with Buncee, why do you use another program? Because I like to show with, I like the video part of Buncee if I'm modeling something that I'm using in Buncee, such as like the career project. That's something that I'm like modeling, but I like to use other video tools for like screen recording. I haven't tried. Gabby, can you screen record with the video on Buncee? Can you
No, if you want to screen record, you can screen record your Buncee.
Okay.
But yeah, Buncee, the video tool in Buncee is great for like you said, modeling something or sharing a reflection or something like that. So it's great for those uses. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I use it for, just to show students like, here's how I reflect. You may reflect differently than I do, but here's how I reflect. But if I want to get a really nice screen recording of what the screen should look like when they log on to Buncee, for example, that's where like Flipgrid or Screencastify or Loom really comes into play, I think. So
yeah,
I hope that answers someone's question. I just saw that pop up. So
yeah. I also kind of really liked, just going back to the video thing, Buncee is great for app smashing with so many different apps. We play really well with a lot of your favorite tech tools. So, and I think you guys did a really great job of demonstrating that as well. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. Yeah. If there was any other questions, any other things that you guys wanted to address or anything like that.
Someone asked, does Buncee introduce any grading system? So I'm not sure with that one. I mean, I do use this for authentic assessments. That's where I think Buncee really helps a lot in the classroom, that it's more than just, I mean, I could speak for myself as a special ed teacher. I'm more about students applying the content to real life things, and Buncee teaches our students 21st century learning skills, how to innovate, how to design. So I grade students based off of like authentic assessments. I'm currently getting my certification as an ISTE certified educator. I'm going through that process. I'm not certified yet, but we did a whole unit on authentic assessments. So if you want to chat more about that and how Buncee can be used as an authentic assessment, I'd be happy to do that through email or through Twitter. Melissa, I don't know, do you want to share?
So one thing that I really do love about Buncee is there is a student login account page, which is really helpful because I can also see when I'm not around, when my students do log in at other times, and then see, you know, what they're doing when I'm not on Buncee with them, when they're doing, say, you know, asynchronous learning. So for me, it's really helpful because then I can see what they did when I'm not around. And then I can also use that, you know, just to kind of, you know, better see what focus I need to do with them, say on matching tasks. You know, I'm working with students who are on alternate assessment population. So that has been a really big help to me. If we're in group works, and again, we're doing a structured teaching thing and we're doing a rotation, that has been a really big help with me, is the student login page to see what my students are doing at that time.
I just saw another question that's really interesting. Someone asked, Claudia actually asked, I'm a first grade teacher. Do you see primary students creating these boards? Absolutely. And what I would do, coming from a special ed background, and Melissa, I'm sure you could agree with this, is chunking, like maybe focusing one day at a time with a specific element of Buncee. Like, can you add audio, you know, and taking that over 3 to 4 days until your primary students have learned or mastered audio. I think you could chunk it. I absolutely. I mean, it's so easy to maneuver too for students who have like low gross and fine motor abilities. Buncee is just so easy to drag icons, you know, on the page where you want them. So
I think also too, depending on the device that the student is using, honestly, I think if you have students who are using, say, a tablet, and you know, they and have that fine motor coordination, honestly, letting them play. So, for example, I was doing a session, and my student today on his communication device said he wanted me to put a tetrahedron on the board, and then I said, okay, and then I had to find one, which was great. And then sorry, I'm just being honest. And so then, you know, I said, do you want it big or small? He told me he wanted it small, and then we picked the color. So I'm actually moving things around, but he's telling me what he wants. So now I'm doing the moving, but you know, our kids can do so much more. I think sometimes, you know, we have to give them that ability to try. So I think if we give students that time to play and be free with it, I think they can do so much. I think sometimes we are the ones who hold them back. I think we have to give them that ability to be doing.
Voice and choice, absolutely. It's so important. So important. I'm just trying to look and see if there's any more.
I had one other thing, actually, just to kind of circle back as well, to talk about the assignments really quick. So, you know, to kind of piggyback off of what you both had said, because certainly there are many ways that you can share your Buncees with your students and kind of grade in a way that makes sense to you or that works for your students. We do have an assignment feature within Buncee. You can create your class and add your students to your class, and then you are able to push assignments to your student. Your student can answer questions or complete the assignment in whatever way that is, whether it's turning in a Buncee or answering questions or whatever it is, and turn that into you for a grade. So that is an option that you have. So if you want to have your students turn in Buncees, but then there are multiple ways that you can share Buncees as well. And I think some of them we were kind of touched on, but essentially you can share anywhere you can share a link, you can share a Buncee, so students can share it that way if you want, or you can share with them. If you use Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you can share that way, or to social media. But if you want to make an assignment in Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you can share it in that way. You can also share directly with your students in Buncee as well. There's a share with students tab button, essentially, share with Buncee users. You can click from your class, choose your class, select your students, and share directly with them. And then students, again, can share directly back with you, their teacher. So it's a great way to share between teachers and students as well.
I think there's also a comment feature as well. So if you share a Buncee with somebody, at the top, there is a comment box. So if you have a question or you want, let's say I share something with Melissa, and I think we even did this when creating our presentation. We're like, look at this slide for, something like that. Does it look okay? So you can even put in comments as well. And you can clip, I think it's called clip stitching, clip stitching different slides together.
The other nice thing is too is they Google Classroom has like a rubric you can make. Buncee has some templates for rubrics that people have made and the creative ideas. But I know a lot of us are using rubrics that we have from our schools. So you can, have your students submit work, however you do that, and then use those rubrics and, just have that, you can import that in as a picture and apply that to the students' workload. So that's always a great thing to have to be able to do, and it makes it nice and simple and easy.
Or what I've done is I use websites such as RubyStar to create my own rubrics, and then I'll even put it into the Buncee. I'll take a screenshot of the rubric and then just upload it as an image into the Buncee so the students see it. So there's so many, and that, again, like as we said earlier, there's so many things that you can do with Buncee, and I just love, and I think we both love that. It saves you time where we can focus on modifying and tweaking the instruction so that it's accessible for our learners. Because for my workload, I've got to learn 4 different subjects and co-teach with 4 different teachers. So having pre-made templates, pre-made animations and stickers and all these wonderful things, it just saves me so much time that I can just focus on the core things, which is being able to make content accessible for all. So, and it's been great. And I want to encourage people, if you're interested, I feel like the Buncee team is going to be overloaded by this, but the Buncee Ambassador program that Melissa and I are part of is amazing. And I've only been using Buncee actually for like 4 to 6 months right now. And I've increased my professional learning network just through this program. Being able to present with Melissa, I presented to Malaysia a couple weeks ago. It's phenomenal. So if you're really passionate about 21st century learning, really passionate about Buncee, or want to learn more and connect with others who are like-minded educators, Melissa and I share the same philosophy and teaching values. We have the same vibe going. We're musical. Buncee. I can't recommend the Buncee Ambassador program enough. It's amazing, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with more people. And
I think that's what's great about the Buncee team too. And I can't say enough thanks to all of the members of the team. I'm so sorry. You work so hard to make sure that people who work well together do. And that's a really important thing, especially in this time. So we are very thankful to the Buncee team for that.
Yes. It's not just another badge that you can put on your EdTech resume or your resume. It's so much more than that. I've learned so much that I can share with my building, and I'm hoping to connect with the people in the Buncee program to do projects this year between our classes. So it's just been an incredible opportunity. I don't know if there's any other questions. It doesn't seem like there are, but please reach out to both of us. We are happy to help and support as much as we can.
Maybe we can create a Buncee night.
Yes. Can we add in some audio karaoke? I'll provide my voice for it.
That sounds awesome. Well,
So,
I know we could go on and on.
Yeah, they're like,
I think there's the three of us. I mean, we could just talk about Buncee.
I know.
Even as I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I should talk about this and this and this.
They're like,
But,
yeah, people want to go to sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and we do want to. We do also want to have our last actually bonus giveaway of the night.
Oh yeah, Cheryl, do you want to take care of that?
Yeah, let me find the link here and copy and paste it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we have a giveaway.
Yes,
And
we do have a special bonus giveaway.
Let me share my screen. I feel so honored that Melissa and I get to
Wow.
Of course.
on this. So, okay, can you all see my screen?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So, Gabby, what is this giveaway exactly? I see a bunch of
so so you're going to go ahead and spin the wheel, and that will determine the prize that is offered. If you're confused about the symbols, I could explain the symbols and what it lands on. So most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but we are giving away some different swag items. We have an Amazon gift card, and we have some subscriptions as well.
All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Yay. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, where's it gonna land?
All right, we have a winner, the charging cable.
Woo!
Awesome. I love those because again, I can clip them on a keychain, and I always
I use every charging cable I have, so that's like an amazing prize.
Yes, so very useful. All right. Well, I think again we are a little bit over, so I do want to try to be respectful of everyone's time. But it just goes to show you like how you can get carried away, how you can go on and on about Buncee and the many different ways that you can use it, the many different things you can do, and also a testimony to how many people and how amazing our community is that everyone wants to be here and wants to be learning about Buncee. So that's a really amazing thing to be a part of.
I think, Gabby, sorry to interrupt. I think Marcia asked in the comments, will we get a link to the presentation, Buncee? Melissa and I are definitely willing to share our presentation. So
absolutely. Absolutely. We will share the link to that as well. Just as a reminder, the link to the form to register so that you make sure you get your certificate. We've shared that in the chat as well. So if you want your certificate, just be sure to go ahead and take a look at that. That link is bit.ly/Buncee2-4. So just be sure to click on that and register and get your certificate if that's what you need. So with that, I think this brings this session to a close. Cheryl and Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Stay
Tomorrow.
connected with both of us.
Yeah.
We love meeting new people and seeing familiar faces. So stay connected with us.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Take care, and I hope that we see you tomorrow for our day 3.
Bye.
Bye.